brought to you almost live from the Dude in the Basement studios. Why? Because that's where the good stuff is. It's Sips, Suds, and Smokes with your smoking hosts, the good old boys. And now it's sippin' time.
Hello and welcome to this Sips episode where everything good in life is worth discussing. As always, we are the best thing on at 2 a.m. This is a 1-hour show that aspires to be entertaining for at least 20 minutes. We are still banned in most major metropolitan areas, the state of Alabama,
Roll Tide,
and the local Chuck E. Cheese after a wildly exaggerated dispute over the number of tickets required to win a particular prize. That damn unicorn's going to be mine.
Never, dude. Never. It is mine.
I saw Brent with the unicorn.
Well, yeah,
I was in the ball pit. That was it. Just the ball pit.
That's why it smells like that?
Oh, no, he was in the ball pit, but it was him. And after he got in it, there was just him and two of them ping pong balls left. There wasn't any room.
They were a little sticky.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Ooh. This is Made Man Bob, and joining me today are good old Cal Denise.
Good. Is it morning still?
It's still morning.
Oh, well.
That's what happens when you're in a basement. You can't see the sun.
And I'm surrounded by all of these men. So good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. And I'm so glad to see Brent and her meet. I was getting a little concerned. They had disappeared for a while, and it is Bob's basement. So welcome.
We're not saying there's a lot of spooning going around, but, you know, sometimes there's spooning.
Don't make me mad. I have a backhoe and a pile of lime. And, all right, Made Man Brent.
Hey, it's a pleasure to be here. As always, I love the basement.
And we got Made Man Maury.
The spooning.
Good morning, Bob. Thanks for bringing the Haggies and Neeps for breakfast.
Yeah, okay. We're going to pretend we know what that is.
It's
Good old boy
nice.
Justin.
Good morning, Bob. Maury, thanks for stealing my line.
Oh, he stole your thunder.
And Mr. Bitter.
Happened to be the last
I'm
show.
Mr. Happy today. I
Okay.
have scotch here.
All right, you're Mr. Happy.
Well, look.
Hold on. Let me turn it. It's a little damp. Let me put the, there you go.
There you go. Thank you. I appreciate the dampness, you know. It's summertime in Florida. And
Yeah, I know
we've got
people like you like it cold and damp. You like to, sleep in your native soil in a box too, but.
Oh, no, man. I'm not making any box jokes.
Oh, wait,
today.
that's,
My wife listens to the
wait,
show.
sorry. I was confused. That's Justin, lawyer. Never mind.
Lawyer. So anyway, Roll Tide, y'all. Thank you for having me today, Bob. I really appreciate being here in the basement with all the scotch. That's good whiskey, but this ain't from America.
You know, the funny thing is we did an Alabama whiskey a couple episodes ago, and the one guy who actually says that wasn't here.
I couldn't be here, man. Things are happening.
You notice
actually have a job.
Did you notice how pleasant that episode was? I'm
It was
just
so
saying.
delightful.
All right.
I'm
No
gonna guess
happiness
most lowest
and no
ratings
bitterness.
of any show we've ever had. I'm just going to guess.
Oh, no, that one was one of the higher rating shows we've ever had. All right. Maury and Brent and myself are with the Bourbon Mafia. Bourbon Mafia is a nonprofit organization composed of bourbon enthusiasts and industry professionals with
Alcoholics.
representation in 9 states now. Our members combine a love of bourbon with a passion for charitable work. The group uses their love of our native spirit to raise money for local and national charities through rare bottle auctions and other themed events. Check them out on Facebook at the Bourbon Mafia. Our show is also sponsored in part by the Fort Lauderdale Whiskey Society. To find out more about the society and all of their events, visit ftlws.com. And our show is also sponsored in part by Fine Spirits in Cooper City, Florida, home of the Automatic Machine, serving great wines, whiskeys, and other spirits by the glass. You can find them at www.finespirits.net. Our sip segments are all about wine, distilled spirits, tea, and coffee, and today's show is a distiller's takeover with whiskeys from the Glenrothes. And here's the whiskeys we're going to be tasting today. We have the Glenrothes Sherry Cask, the Glenrothes Bourbon Reserve, we have the Glenrothes Peated Cask Reserve, and the Glenrothes Vintage 2004.
You know, you told us that the order was wrong on the sheet, and you still read it in the wrong order.
I know, I didn't write arrows like you did and move it around.
See, the arrows are cute, aren't they?
Yeah, I didn't do it.
Very
So.
nice, cute arrows.
So we're going to ask Justin to give us our SIPS ratings, and he's going to do it in his most talented Scottish voice. That actually sounds better than him.
Sounds like
saying.
a bagpipe.
Yeah.
1. Give me a glass of water to wash out my mouth. 2.
You want to wait? Yeah.
He's learning
Slow
to get
down.
it right.
We have all night here. Yeah.
2.
2 sips.
Nice. But what else do you have?
You know, Sean Connery is spitting in his grave. The guy's still alive.
There's the sun's coming up. We're running out of time.
3. Interesting, but what was this again?
Interesting.
4. Let's keep this secret to ourselves. Pour me another.
He's not hurrying or rushing you, is he?
5. Oh my. I was unaware anything could be this good.
Oh my goodness.
The ratings won't go up.
I swear, it's like it's almost like I'm sitting here watching like Hunt for Red October. It's just stunning how good that is. I mean, don't worry if Daniel Craig quits Bond. We've got the guy. It's a done deal. Oh my God.
It's a lock.
Half of Edinburgh right now is throwing up in their hat.
I've already been banned from Scotland from the last show.
Always on a roll.
All right. Yeah, when you said Isla? Yeah, okay. All right. We're gonna have Denise tell
America,
us.
it's pronounced I slay.
Yeah.
I slay, boy.
There you go. We're gonna have Denise tell us a little bit about the Glenrothes Distillery.
Denise.
I won't be doing it in a Scottish accent, though.
We're gonna have her come here and talk to us about the Scottish whiskies.
Oh, very nice.
Very good.
Bond. James Bond.
Well, okay.
Sounds more like Bill Clinton.
You notice he's always the same character. He's supposed to be a Spaniard in that silly Highlander movie.
Best freaking movie ever, man. Don't say anything. I will cut you.
And he's exactly the same guy. It's like, oh, there's a Spanish accent. You know, he's supposed to be an Irish guy in that
I
one
know.
where he's in the prison,
Ramirez.
and it's still him. It's that. See, that's the genius. That's the genius.
He's a Russian with a Scottish. He's the best Russian.
But that's what I'm saying. Here's the icons. You got Jack Nicholson. Jack, you're going to be a 92-year-old, Russian woman. Yeah, no, it's Jack Nicholson.
Yep.
Jack, you're going to be a 22-year-old Chinese girl. It's still Jack Nicholson. And that's it. Doesn't matter what Jack does. It's still cool.
About Sean Connery, right?
And it's the same thing with Sean Connery. Doesn't
Right.
matter what he does. It's still Sean Connery.
True. I would agree.
Brilliant. All right. Tell us
Okay.
about the
Jay and
distillery.
Silent Bob.
Here we go.
Oh,
Well-
yeah, Jay and Silent Bob.
Once upon a time, located in the town of Rothes in Speyside, construction of what is now the Glenrothes Distillery was begun in 1878 by James Stewart, who, by the way, was the Macallan leaseholder at the time.
The what?
The Macallan.
McAllen.
Macallan. The Macallan.
I'm looking at you. I'm watching you.
The Macallan leaseholder at the time.
watching you.
Robert Dick, a banker,
Is he related to Andy?
Wait. The next one. Go ahead.
and John Cruikshank, a lawyer. Cruikshank.
Come on, a lawyer. I love that.
Yeah.
There's 3 lawyers
John
at the table.
Cruikshank,
Do
a
we cheat him
lawyer.
in slime? Yeah.
Yeah.
And William Grant, also a former Macallan employee. So due to the financial misfortune, the distillery
Entered. James Stewart left the business.
Yep. Due to financial misfortune, James Stewart left the business before they were up and running. Okay, Harmy. They were up and running, leaving his former partners to complete the distillery under a new company, William Grant and Company. They first began making spirit in 1879. In 1884, the distillery became known as Glenrothes Glenlivet. Is that okay, Harmeet?
I'm not going to say anything now.
In 1887,
silent?
William
Sorry.
Grant and Company merged with the
You'll know when she makes an
Isla,
error. I will jump on it.
merged with the Isla Distillery Company, which are the owners of Bunnahabhain, to become Highland Distillers Company. They continued in operation until 1896, when the distillery underwent an expansion, adding 2 stills and an additional malt kiln. This expansion was interrupted, like all good barbecue joints, by a fire in 1897 that destroyed a large part of the distillery. The distillery recovered only to be damaged again in 1903 by an explosion.
I didn't do it.
Probably
Pyromania.
having a barbecue at the distillery.
Right?
Those cheap valves on their
All
stills.
good barbecue joints
wasn't
burn
there.
down at least one
You can't
time.
prove it.
Maybe same with the distillery. Then in 1922, what do you know? A fire in one of their warehouses caused the loss of 200,000 gallons of whiskey, of which Maury would say that is
A good week.
alcohol abuse.
Maury
That's
just looked at her.
That's
And
right.
look, this is the thing. I'm not saying the guy is a banker. I'm pretty sure he was in the insurance industry and he's got pull.
You might be right
It's
about
called
that.
Jewish
Hermie.
lightning.
Yeah.
So in
You can
19
say that because you're Jewish, but I was just thinking.
Yeah. Make sure the audience knows that he said that and not the rest of us, okay? Yeah.
So in 1962, another fire resulted in a further
What's that,
expansion.
number 3 or number 4?
I've lost count. And in 1982, which is not that long ago, the distillery was expanded again to a total of 5 wash stills and 5 spirit stills. They continued to operate and expand, and by 1989, the distillery had 10 stills with a total capacity of over 5.5 million liters per year.
5 million fires. Have you been drinking cash flow?
That's so funny.
So he's out there with a big lighter.
Shall I finish the story?
Yeah.
Okay. So for many years, the Glenrothes has been a major component of Cutty Sark and the famous grouse blends, with the distillery leasing only about 4% of their spirit under their own name. In 1999, the distillery was purchased by the Edrington Group, and in 2010, the Glenrothes brand was traded by the Edrington Group to Berry Brothers and Rudd in exchange for the Cutty Sark brand. Edrington continued to own and operate the distillery and continued to supply spirit to Berry Brothers for the Glenrothes brand. In 2017, just last year, Edrington repurchased the Glenrothes brand back from Berry Brothers and Rudd. Whereas many distillers offer a range of age-stated products, the Glenrothes is different, that is typically offers vintage and dated products.
We'll be back. And we're back, and we are talking about whiskeys from the Glenrothes distillery. And
Sorry, Bob.
What?
Drink. Glenrothes?
I said Glenrothes.
Well, you said Glenrothes the second time. Drunky McDrunkerson.
No,
Well,
you're wearing
don't
headphones.
give me the eyebrow, Bob. Don't give
You're
me the
wearing
eyebrow.
headphones. So we're going to have Denise finish telling us up a little bit about the
Finish
distillery.
telling us up.
Whereas many distilleries offer a range of age-stated products, the Glenrothes is different in that it typically offers vintage-dated products. Whiskey distilled and put in cask in a single year, then bottled as either a reserve or vintage. And that's a little bit of information about the Glenrothes. And
right.
just to clarify, it was not 100 million fires a year, but there were many. There were many fires.
I'm just stunned they could find anyone left in the
To insure
EU
them?
that would issue a policy on it.
They made him do high deductible after the third fire and the explosion.
But I'm so confused. You've got all these major names in the Scotch world. You've got Edrington Group. You've got William Grant and Sons. Glenlivet's thrown in there. I'm completely confused as to who the hell.
Cutty Sark.
Where it started and where it ended, right?
Yeah, Cutty Sark and
And-
everybody.
Instead of blowing it up, they just
Well,
sold it
that's
to each
that's because your wife was talking and you
Hobbin.
weren't listening as usual. So why don't we have her tell us a little bit about the whiskey, and maybe you can unplug your ears and listen to her this time.
Yeah, well, let me
Lean into a mic there, boy.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you. He's just nodding, which is good for radio. It's perfect. You can see the nod.
Well, let me tell you a little bit about the Glenrothes sherry cask.
Please do.
I will. So if you look at it, the color, well, light and lighter. It's very, very light. At
about
least
the
I
script?
thought so. Pardon me?
Want to read the script?
No.
Okay, just check it.
Would you like to read the script?
No, go right ahead.
Well, we'll talk
right
about
right
it.
above before that says
Okay,
color.
so the sherry cask.
no.
It's the,
The color's
listen,
her part.
I'll talk about it.
She wants to talk about what she wants to say. Screw you.
I'll tell
and
you.
The script.
I'll tell you what they say about it.
Yeah.
It's the
And-
first
and, you know,
100%.
There's a bunch of other lawyers at the table, Maury. So she can talk to you later.
There's
gonna
only
let
2
Brent-
lawyers.
Say what it is. How about that? Here you go, Brent. Just tell them what the shit.
Okay, yeah, this is a Glenrothes sherry cask. It's 40% ABV. It's not age stated.
That's
I
what
don't know how
Maury
many.
was looking for, right there.
Yeah, I don't know how.
No.
I mean, I didn't catch when they were talking about the difference of the range of age stated products or how long they actually were aged. Does anybody got that or?
There's no age
There
statement.
knows age.
Yeah,
statement.
so I
other. Yeah,
didn't.
they got away
I
from
didn't
that 'cause
understand
they
no
keep
age
blowing
statement,
up
but
their whiskey.
but
so.
They keep
but yeah,
rolling.
The first 100% first fill sherry cask expression from Glenrothes Distillery. The casks are made to specification in Jerez, Spain. Jerez.
Why am I even here today?
But
I don't know why you're here.
Just back away from the microphone. Back away.
Jerez.
Back
Give the
away.
microphone
And are predominantly of European wood.
European wood.
European.
Wood.
Who's a peeing?
Europe.
Wood.
European.
Okay.
I only
Morning
want
wood.
For those of you that were wondering, it's 100% first fill sherry cask from Glenrothes.
Jerez.
They're made to specification in Jerez, Spain, and are predominantly European oak, but some are American oak. So,
Okay.
Wow. The whole
So-
table got in on that.
Thank you.
So this particular expression is a very light amber color. On the nose, I got, interestingly enough, a lot of fruit. So I got cherries, I got raisins, definitely fermented fruit, and some orange. And that's what I got on the nose. On the palate, though, I thought that the palate was a little bit lighter than the nose. And actually, I got a little bit of spice on the palate, which I didn't notice on the nose. It was a little creamy, maybe a little chocolate, maybe some oak, and then the dried cherries again. So I'm not really sure if it's the wild cherry lip gloss or it's the whiskey.
You know, I've just been waiting for Maury to jump in and interrupt because usually that's what he does.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
you're married to him.
yeah, but that's why we have you now.
Interrupt.
Yeah.
Very
quiet.
Very
This is a
quiet.
thing.
We don't
I like
need
you've got
to.
him
We have
trained.
you.
No better.
You've got him trained. I like it.
Oh, like a monkey.
I know.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a little monkey.
He's like my little monkey. So, yeah, I think, I don't know, maybe, yeah. Anyway.
Did you like this whiskey?
You got a creamy palate. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the finish for me was a medium finish, a little spiciness, not too much, and that orange peel again. I liked it. It was pleasant. It wasn't.
Didn't knock
Yeah,
your socks off.
No, not a lot of layers, not a lot of complexity.
I'll knock your socks off.
Maury.
Excuse
Well-
me.
In your dreams.
I'm not wearing any socks.
I really thought that this whiskey was a little bit of a letdown. I had high hopes, high expectations. I really thought it was going to have a little more sherry punch to it. It was just pleasant. It was entry level.
Like
It was,
high apple pie in the sky hope.
No.
Oh,
Like Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds hopes.
Nice. She's just making faces at him now.
It's a nice psychedelic aspect to it.
Thank you. He got it.
Oh, dear Lord.
So I just thought that it was very, one note. I didn't think it had a lot of complexity. It didn't have a lot of sherry to it. And it's a nice entry level whiskey. It's pleasant, but nothing that I would run right out and source.
I gotta take exception to your fruit. So you're getting cherries. I got apricots and plums. It's
got
kind of weird.
cherries, dried cherries.
I got dried fruits. Definitely dried fruits, but I didn't get cherries.
I got the cherries
well.
as well. I got.
Well,
Really?
I've had
Did you
the
take
wild cherry
exception
lip
to
gloss
my
from Spencer's at the
mediocrity?
mall since
No, I
1977.
100% agree with you.
Could
This
be
is kind
that.
of mediocre. Yeah. But Muscovado sugar. But I got more apricot and plum rather than cherry. You got cherry? Really? You guys got cherry? You guys are
Cherry
eating
and
bad
citrus.
cherries.
Cherry and citrus.
Yeah, I agree with you.
The citrus
that
is
orange peel's
definitely
there. Yeah.
I got more Demerara than Muscovado on the sugar.
Demerara is more molasses than Muscovado. Moscato's a little lighter. Am I correct?
No, the other way around.
Other way around? Then you're right. Then it's Demerara. Okay. Sorry, I thought Muscovado was the lighter one.
It's a first.
Well,
Feels
I
good
don't
to be right.
often admit it. That
Take
you're
my
right.
pen.
I
Write
don't.
this down.
I don't often admit he's right because he's
Get
so
the
rarely
date.
right.
Let me
Well,
get
that's
the
true.
date.
I thought
gonna put this in
Muscovado
my
We're
was
so
computer.
often wrong.
is
Muscovado is
Demerara is lighter
dark
than
brown
Muscovado.
like your skin.
I'm more. Am I Muscovado? I guess I am.
You're more mocha. Maybe
I'm not.
latte.
Mocha's.
Demerara looks like turbinado or sugar in the raw.
And then so Muscovado's the deeper one. Okay, so this is more Demerara. Okay, I gotcha. Thank you.
I like the Mexican sugar. It comes in a little cone. You just scrape off what you need. Easy to take. Care.
Comes in a what?
A little cone.
Cone.
Yeah, they sell it in India like that
Yeah,
too.
it's
I think
awesome.
they call it. Oh, jeez. And that's the Muscovado type sugar.
Yeah, I definitely get the orange and I get the cherries on the nose. And on the palate, I definitely get the citrus. I get a little bit of ginger. I get a very light baking spice on the end. It's got a short finish. It's it's a decent whiskey. I mean, it's not going to be
nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, it's not going to be for the price point they've got, it's a perfectly fine whiskey, and I enjoyed it.
I just wish the finish were longer. I was like, I agree.
Well, I always want to be drinking, $1,000 whiskey every day, but it's not exactly in the budget. So, yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was perfectly fine. What do you think, Justin?
I thought that it had a nice sherry malt balance to it. I definitely got the orange peel at the end that Denise got. I couldn't taste the cherries in it as much as I tried.
Thank you.
Did you get any fruit other than the citrus orange?
I got like combination between like baking soda and talcum powder, but not in an overly negative way. But it was definitely like a powdery finish to it.
I wonder what kind of sherry cask it was.
I'm going to guess Oloroso and Pedro Jimenez, but that's Pedro Jimenez. You think more rich flavor?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not getting.
really
I don't think. No.
You think it's Fino?
I think it might be
Fino or
yeah.
Amontillado.
Yeah, I think it's like Fino or Amontillado because if it was the others, I'd be picking up more of that raisiny,
No
dark
raisins.
fruit.
No raisins.
I'm getting the citrus.
No, I got the raisins in it, and I also got I got a little bit of iodine to this one.
Who is that guy behind those Foster Grants?
I just get scotch.
No,
You're
it's
still
not
tasting that peated one. Is what
No, it's not. No, I got it a little bit from this one, but it was pleasant though. It was pleasant.
He's over there licking a Band-Aid, so that's probably where it's coming from. So anyway, we're going to give the Glenrothes sherry cask. Hold on, I'm not ready yet. We're going to give
You're the one with the board in front of you.
We're going to give it 3 sips. So
Interesting.
So now we're going to go on to the next one. We're going to have Justin tell us about this one.
Okay. So now we're going to go over the Glenrothes Bourbon Reserve. That one was
Bourbon,
formerly...
I thought this was Scotch.
Yeah, they call it Bourbon Reserve.
Welcome to All Things Scottish. Our slogan is, if it's no Scottish, it's crap!
And it's 40% alcohol by volume. And it was formerly known as Alba Reserve.
That's from the name Quercus alba, the American oak.
Okay.
White oak.
And this expression is matured exclusively in American
In case you're wondering,
oak
he's useful and handy when you go on Jeopardy.
Quercus alba. We've talked about Quercus alba on this show, my friends. Come on. We did a whole show about different types of oak.
On this,
Remember, I think it was something about what's your wood? Or how's your wood? What was
I wasn't invited to that show.
I hope
about
your wood
the wood
comes out okay, Harm.
Yeah.
So this one had a heavy malt and white wine on the nose. I got the Demerara sugar on the palate and a little bit of vinegar to it. And a little bit of vinegar. I thought it was
vinegar.
I think from now on, you're going to be the Muscovado
I got a
teddy
little
bear.
bit of vinegar. But it was pretty decent. I liked it.
I'll give you high acidity, but vinegar is wrong.
If you're hoping it's going to taste like bourbon, it's not, but it's not bad.
Well, if it tastes like bourbon, then you messed something up.
Then it's not Scotch.
Yeah, that's bourbon. All right, Maury, what'd you think?
I thought it was a pleasant whiskey. I thought it was really, just really. Sorry.
Really?
Sounded like me.
I'm sounding like
short.
Justin.
Okay, let's go to somebody with some words. What do you think, Denise?
Well,
No.
I thought the nose just had a ton of citrus for me. So oranges and tangerines and also floral.
Now,
I
see,
don't know. I'm back to
where
the
you-
flowers
Is that your lip
again.
gloss?
You say oranges and tangerines, I will agree with you. He said vinegar? What the heck?
No, there's no vinegar.
No, I didn't
No.
get any vinegar.
No,
I got definitely.
boo.
I'll give him the white wine notes because of the oranges and tangerines. A little
Right.
floral, like a little Viognier
Yeah.
type thing going on here.
And I mean like sweeter oranges
doesn't
and
know what a
tangerines.
Viognier is.
Bob, you're
does.
usually sort of on the same
A
page with
Viognier?
me with
No, I
like
don't know
the
what that is.
florals. Did you get any floral from
Maury's
the
correct.
nose?
I get
Viognier also has more melon usually
I get
than that.
sort of a sweet floral note to it. I definitely get on the nose. I definitely get the orange peel, but like you said, it seems a little sweeter.
You guys don't get that soft vanilla? I think that vanilla comes out from
You
that
know what
one.
I'm picking
Middle
up?
palate, you get vanilla.
When we first poured it out of the bottle, I was getting a lot of cereal. I was getting a lot of malt. But now that it's sat in the
Blows
glass
off.
for a while, that's completely
gone.
blown off. So now I'm just getting the flowers. I'm getting the citrus.
I got green wood at
Do you have
first.
any
And
more?
then now there's
At first, I did. I got green wood, I got malt, and I got like chopped nuts. But that's all blown off. I'm with Denise. I'm getting exactly the same thing she's picking up.
that orange peel, lemon peel. There's a little bit of malty cereal there still, but
Well, what I
it's
found
gorgeous.
really interesting is on the palate, I got the citrus and the floral. And on the finish, for me, it's a little spicy with some black pepper, which is not what I get mid-palate, only on the finish. So
I'm waiting for that pepper to kick in.
Thank you, sir. I'll have another.
I'm not getting the
nobody?
pepper.
Anybody?
Pepper?
On the finish?
Pepper?
Little spice, little
I
pepper.
get the lemon peel
Pass
you
the
were
salt.
talking about.
Give me the bottle, please.
Yeah.
Try another one.
I'm. It's not
No pepper.
It's not.
It's not in your face.
It's not pepper like a rye pepper, but it's a slight. You know where I'm getting it. I'm getting around the sides of the tongue.
Yes.
I'm not getting on the top palate. I'm getting it on the sides.
I'm
it's
pulling a really good inhale, and maybe I'm getting some white pepper.
not on the nose,
not
on the
quite.
palate.
Yeah,
On the palate. On the finish.
On the
more
finish, just
specifically
around
for
the
me.
edges of the tongue, just a slight bit of spice to it. Very,
I'm just
very
going to
light.
be on the record saying you're
So-
both wrong.
Well,
No.
you can say
I'm going to
whatever
agree
you
with
want.
the brown boy.
Yeah. There you go.
Whoa.
Marriage in jeopardy over here.
Well,
Every palette's
when it all
different. We
comes
could
down
all
to
be
it, I'm the
right.
man running the recording board, so I
Absolutely.
can turn your mic off. So I always win.
Bob. I know you're a lawyer, but I'll bring other lawyers. You
I'm
want
not-
the show surrounded by lawyers.
I'm not afraid of lawyers. Please.
Fine, be that way. So,
What did you
Brent,
think?
Brent, did you think anything about this whiskey? Brent, lean in the mic there, Brent.
No, it was nice. When I definitely got the floral in the nose and enjoyed that. And I get a little bit. I don't really get a whole lot of the pepper. It was kind of more like almost like a nutmeg or baking like an allspice is what I got on the
Yeah,
palate.
it's not. It's not.
It's not a pepper.
It's not like
it's
a big punch
it's
of
not like a rye or
Tulare
something like
pepper on
that.
your tongue. It's just that
Exactly.
spiciness around the edges.
Yeah, exactly.
nice.
That's exactly it. It's pleasant. It's very pleasant.
I'm telling you,
nice mouthfeel.
This
nice
one I
little
like when you
finish.
open it, but after it's gotten some air, it's growing on me a lot more. I'm really.
I
enjoying it.
actually like this much better than when we
Yeah.
first tasted. When I
Yeah.
first gave my review of this whiskey, I wasn't super impressed, but as it's gotten air, this
Yeah,
is much
it's-
nicer.
Yeah, but you got to
absolutely
be
improved.
patient. I mean, that's the problem. Most people want to open the bottle and drink it. This is wait a half hour.
Well, you're an
I
alcoholic.
didn't have to wait a half hour, 20 minutes max.
Hi, I'm Maury, and I'm an
15,
alcoholic.
15. And I added a drop of water, Denise. The citrus is even bigger. Try with some water.
Sometimes you have to wait longer than you're at Cracker Barrel to drink this stuff.
Oh God, I'm on a table full of crackers.
I'd always hoped that one day I could meet Sean Connery because I always thought the guy was just hella cool. But at this point, that dream is now destroyed. He wouldn't come within 1,000 miles of this place. Oh dear Lord!
I don't get any more citrus with the water.
He probably
Sorry.
puts. No, I smell it more. Smell it. I smell more citrus with the water. It wasn't as much there before, but I got vanilla more earlier.
All right, what'd you guys rate it?
Did we rate it?
We did.
Yes, we
What did
did.
we rate it?
We rated this one. Guess
3.
3.
A3.
Is there like a long delay between the time you actually press the button and something happens?
No, I just do that to keep idiots in suspense. It seems to be working. You remember when I put you in that round room and told you to go in the corner? Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, told me to pee in the corner. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So
Oh, we were talking about that. Oh, we were doing that show about what was it? The Sagamore Rye, and we talked about pecan versus pecan. And I told you a pecan is what you pee in.
no, pecan is what it is. It grows on a tree.
Pecan is what you pee in when you're on a long road trip. It's called pecan.
No. When you go on a long road trip, it's a mayonnaise jar. Has a lid on it. A can won't work. What's wrong with you? What kind of household did you grow up in? I know your mother. She's a lovely woman. Good Lord.
She made us stop on the side of the road.
You have a woman at the table, no jars.
No jars.
You have to actually stop
Stop.
and pull over.
Yeah.
Good luck with that one. Yeah.
Sorry.
Pull over or pull down?
Yeah.
Hey, Bob, do you want to do the next whiskey?
We have windows that work, so I don't think so.
I
right.
think Denise is going to hang her butt out the window and pee.
I
Possibly.
don't
You
think
never
anybody
know.
wants me to do that, Hermit.
Conversation has really deteriorated.
Now the husband chimes in. Bob,
it's-
talk about the next whiskey before I get in trouble.
All right. Our next product is the Glenrothes Vintage 2004. It's 43% ABV. The 2004 is the newest release from Glenrothes Distillery and was handpicked by Maltmaster Gordon Motion from a selection of American oak sherry seasoned cask laid down in 2004. was bottled in 2017. There are only 3,150 bottles that were released into the U.S. market.
Better run right out and
Justin,
find one.
quickly, how many years is that?
I have no idea.
That's because you can't do math because you're a lawyer.
Bar mitzvah. It was bar mitzvah aged. You should know that, Justin.
L'chaim.
L'chaim.
Well, this is one of the
Call
things.
this bar mitzvah whiskey.
This is one of the things that they do that a lot of other distilleries don't. They don't, release,
vintage.
a 12 and a 15 and an 18. They release a vintage. This is an 04
for the goyim
versus
out
an
there, bar
03.
mitzvah age is 13-year-old whiskey.
what do they think this is wine? A vintage?
Vintages make a difference. They do.
Yeah, but this is not exactly wine.
No,
Where the terroir,
Well, you're
the
vintage.
seasonality is going to make a difference.
Well, tell them the people who are collecting those 1956, 1994, 1964 Macallans.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
those vintage dated ones
Vintage
have some
dated.
value.
Oh, all of a sudden, so vintage dating is okay if you approve of it. I see how that works.
Yeah.
It's all about what he wants to do.
Well, they put it in the bottle.
got
in
some 95 and
2004, but how
96
do we
and
know
stuff.
how long they aged it?
We do. They aged it for 13 years.
Fine.
It's the bar mitzvah
We'll
reference.
talk about the actual whiskey.
We'll be back in 2004. And we're back, and we are talking about the Glenrothes distillery, and we are right now working on the Glenrothes Vintage 2004.
13 years old, baby.
So it's got
Well,
a
we don't
nice
know how
color
it's
to
been
it, a
aged,
nice
according
light
to
gold,
Justin.
Bronze.
bronze-ish,
That's bronze.
goldish, sort of, but
Pale yellow.
got a lovely nose to it.
There's
I
reddish
mean,
notes there. That's bronze, dude.
It's got some sweet fruit. It's got some honey. And it's got just a touch of spice in the nose, especially in the tip of the nose, on the palate.
Don't put it on your nose. Just smell it. Jeez.
What do you want me to do with this giant nose?
Puts his nose right in the glass.
And on the palate, I'm definitely picking up, I get the vanilla, I get some oak. I definitely get a baking spice to the back of the palate. I get butterscotch along the front. Yeah,
Really?
Spot on, Bob.
Yeah.
That's my
You
notes.
got butterscotch too?
Brown
Absolutely.
butter and butterscotch.
Yeah.
Candy
Yeah.
making.
That's it too. Brown butter. The brown butter is on the
What
front.
am I missing? No water? Just like that?
Maybe you mixed up your glasses.
It's going to hit a smoke.
I just
Got a
it
little
again.
smokiness
No,
to it.
no smoke.
Underneath.
There's
Nah.
a wisp. I know. I agree with him. You guys are. This is weird.
You're
This is
missing it.
another polarizing whiskey. How am I? I'm breaking up your marriage, niece. What's going on here? I agree with him.
There's
I get the
some
wisp of smoke,
smokiness.
but I don't get the brown butter. You get the brown
Get
butter.
smoke.
Not
I
as
get
much
the
as brown
smoke
butter.
too.
Justin gets smoke out of bottled water, so he doesn't count.
No, it's because he smokes cigars, right? You smoke cigars, Justin?
Yeah, but not for the last couple of
Okay,
weeks.
maybe a little.
There's definitely a hint of smokiness.
A hint.
It's
I'm reaching for
nothing
the butter,
like
but I
the
don't
last
get the
one.
butter.
A hint.
It's nothing like
like
But
a
it's
brown butter.
overshadowed by the
Butterscotch
baking
and
says
brown butter.
vanilla.
spices.
I got the vanilla. I got the candied fruit. It's like that fruit cake to me. There's like cake. Maybe that's what that butteriness you're talking about.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It tastes like a fruit cake. It's
I
like
get butterscotch.
dried fruit.
I
Absolutely.
get
vanilla.
baking spice.
But those are my notes. So baking bread, candy
Yeah.
making,
Yeah.
butterscotch, brown
So
butter.
from now
and
on, instead of me
okay,
calling you
hint
a
of smoke.
fruitcake, I'm just going to call you
Brown
Nut
butter.
cake.
I've been Muscovado bear, now brown butter bear. All right, fine. No, I don't get the brown butter, but now I guess that's it. Maybe it is because to me it smells like cake. I don't make the cake. I just eat the cake. You apparently make the cake.
Maybe
Make the
burnt
cake.
butter.
Yeah, brown butter.
But I did write slight
burnt
smokiness
more
on the
than-
finish.
It's burnt more than it's brown.
Tomato.
Yeah.
Right? Thank you for noticing the smoky finish.
I wrote that actually. I guess I should look at my notes once in a while.
Yeah. What do you think about the finish? How long? What do you think? Medium, long finish, short finish? What do you think?
Short,
Short, really?
short to medium.
I go medium.
Okay.
Maury?
Well,
medium?
I'm a woman. Short to medium.
Oh, she's got expectations.
You
Thought it
notice
was
she said
medium to
short when
long.
she looked over at him. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I thought it was medium to long. I found that little wisp of smokiness. Just
Well,
lingered
yeah,
on
of
for
course
some
you.
time.
Of course, you think everything's long.
That's right.
Uh-huh. Good luck with that.
No, I gave it medium finish, but that wisp of smokiness makes just brings it into the long side. I thought it was really nice. What'd you think, Denise? Like,
I liked it
up
a lot.
there, yes.
It's my favorite whiskey so far.
Brent,
I like it a lot.
What'd you think? Brent's not even going to talk. He's far away from the microphones.
No, this one was okay. This one was okay to me. But the finish on it, medium length.
It's got smoke on it.
And
You
it
have
wasn't.
to drink it.
It was just a very little hint of smoke. I mean, the hint of smoke was so low to me.
You're within a mile of a barbecue joint.
Yeah, but I mean, normally if there's smoke on a Scotch, I'm one of the first to pick it up. Even when you guys say, "Oh, this is like a low smoke," like, and I'm usually like, "Oh my God, this is like over my head." Wait till we get to the next one.
No, it's subtle. It's subtle.
Justin,
but
you've not said a word.
This takes a little bit of
liked
refined.
the sherry and the bourbon cask better than this one.
Really?
I thought it was
This
okay.
is a sherry cask.
He's a
This is
heathen.
Yeah.
I thought it was okay.
There's something
It
wrong
didn't.
with
It didn't blow me away.
I think we'll have Maury measure the level of smokiness, like scientifically.
Okay.
Like phenol parts per million
Okay,
kind of
let's
stuff.
do that.
What do you
I'll
think?
get back to you on that.
It was a light smoke.
Parts per million of phenol is measured of peat, right? That's not. Is it the
It
actual
is
smoke?
It is with both actually.
Really?
They do smoke and peat.
Definitely more of a campfire smoke than an iodine smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
This is very light. But they gave it away. They own Bunnahabhain, so that's the least peaty of all the Isla whiskeys. So I don't think they're actually putting peat in this. So this is just, where's the peat coming from? Where's the smoke coming from? It's the barrel.
From the barrel.
It oozed out of the barrels
Charred barrel.
of the next whiskey that were laying adjacent to it in the wreck house.
I think you're all clearly
Bobby
insane.
Joe, you're just.
It's had
just looking at
13
us and
years
shaking
to
your head.
pick up
What's going on?
char, so
I think you're all clearly insane.
Well,
I think you have it sitting on the table next to the peated version, and you knuckleheads are picking up on that and waving your hand over it.
the peated
We're not
one's
talking about the nose, we're talking
unmistakable.
about the palate.
No.
Finish.
there's a hint of smoke at the end. Anyway, I enjoy this whiskey.
Put it on the gas spec and get back to me.
There you go.
Not at all, huh?
Butterscotch, vanilla.
There is no butterscotch.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God.
I got butterscotch too,
See?
Bob.
I am an old man in my soul. I carry butterscotch candies.
It's
I
not
will
just
bring you
your
a word.
soul.
In his
but
body.
There is
too.
no word. Oh Jesus!
Just clarifying. It's
People
not
think
just
I'm
your
20
soul.
years younger than I actually am. Don't give me that.
What people?
People who owe me
Yep.
money.
Well, Helen Keller for one.
Yeah. People who owe me money think it's always just compliment me.
People that owe you money just hope you're older than they think you are, because maybe you'll die and they won't have to pay you.
Senile.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
right.
so what do we
Can
give
we give
this
it a
as a rating?
All right.
Let me guess. It's going to be a surprise.
What?
Interesting.
3 sips.
3 sips.
Sips. Yay.
We're consistent, folks. We are consistent.
All right.
So, or is it us? Is it we who are consistent, or is it Glenrothes?
Both.
Both. There you go.
Yeah.
So fine. Can we talk about the last one, kids?
Do it.
Let's do it.
Not particularly, but you might
we
as
must.
well.
You want to? Yeah. Well, I'm going to jump in here.
I don't
anyway.
really. I mean, I'd honestly rather have anyone else do it, but you're here, so okay.
Well, I'm gonna talk about this last one, and it's good old boy Harmeet, by the way, and our last product is Glenrothes
Don't
peated
wreck our
cask.
show, you hoser.
What was that? Say it again.
Don't wreck our show, you hoser.
Don't make me woo you. Don't make me woo you.
No,
Don't make me.
woo me.
That was awesome.
I spent 10 years in Winnipeg, man. I am a hoser. It's true, and I do love my donuts and beer. But
You ready to start?
Right now, I'm married to the girl from Alabama.
Bane said you can start. Go ahead and start.
Fine. I'm married to a girl from Alabama, and I want to tell you something. This does not taste like Alabama whiskey at all. This smells like something completely different because this is the Glenrothes peated cask reserve. And there's my quibble right here. It is 40% alcohol by volume. Why couldn't they just make this 92 proof?
Yes.
92. And 86 at the minimum. But no, they went with 80. And I know why. It's because of taxes. Those darn Englishmen and their damn taxes.
I honestly think the first two would have benefited from being at
Little higher
86 or
alcohol, yeah.
92. I really think it would have helped
So this is the first time Glenrothes, which has never made a peated whiskey before, but now they own Bunnahabhain. So I wonder why they're making a peated whiskey. But this is the first time they've made a peated expression from this distillery.
They don't own Bunnahabhain. This was inspired by their previous historical association with Bunnahabhain.
Did they sell Bunnahabhain? Was that I wasn't listening to Denise.
Exactly.
You were listening to your wife?
No, it was
Your wife was talking about that.
And I was listening.
No, it was inspired by their historical association with the Iowa Distillery Company back in 1887, is what they say. But I think
you can read the script. As
I
well
think
as
he's
I can.
probably
That's
right. If you have access to peated casks, then
they
you go,
owned
what the heck?
Bunnahabhain at one point, so they had access to peated casks.
Yeah.
So this was distilled in 1992, and it was finished in peated casks, which previously held Islay whiskey. Now, which one could it be? But they own Bunnahabhain, the most lightly peated whiskey.
Oh, so it was Ardbeg then.
Oh, must. There you go.
Obviously, yeah.
Clearly Ardbeg.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, I just spilled it. Oh, whatever. So the color. This is a pale gold, very pretty, and the nose is a medium smoke. It's not a lot. It's not over the top. Again, the most lightly peated whiskey. Thank you, sir. The most lightly peated whiskey of the Islas. But, I mean, I'm not 100% this is Bunnahabhain because it actually smells like it's more peated than Bunnahabhain is.
It's much more peated.
Much more peated, right?
And I don't believe they own Bunnahabhain.
They used to. She read it. You were listening.
I didn't write it. I
You didn't
wasn't
write
there
it.
in
Yeah.
1922 during the fire.
One of their 100 million fires. So, but what did you guys get on the nose here? Because when I first smelled it, it was just that peat that got it. But now the fruit is coming up. Now, what do you get? What fruit are you getting? Anybody?
Orange.
Orange? I got apples. Smoked apples. Beautiful nose.
I can smell the apples.
That's because you were talking about Alabama whiskey. You got the apples. That's the only reason why.
Glad maize. No.
No, I get mint.
Mint, on the palate. I don't smell the mint.
I smell the
I
mint.
smell the mint.
Do you?
I do.
Mint and smoke and
Mint. Okay.
and I do.
Because you said
I do
mint.
get some crisp apple.
Chris, I get apple, mint, smoke. I think this is so pretty. The palate is very sweet, but it's balanced with that smoke. It's very nicely done. The finish is medium to long, and I give it a higher rating than our average rating because we're doing this new thing where we give one rating. I cast aspersion upon all of you. So there you go. I'm just looking at you. I'm just glaring. You can't see this, but we got to do a YouTube video one day. I'm just glaring at them all. Justin's just laughing at me. What do you think, Justin? Just look at this.
I think that after it's like 80% peat on the nose, but after you get through that, there's a little bit of I would say baked apples on it that I could get.
And then she said mint, and I got that mint, right?
It was very light on my palate. I have to agree with Harmeet as much as it pains me. I think that I wish they would have done it in maybe 92, 100 proof.
Yeah.
But they
so
pay
that I
much
could
higher
get
taxes
something
when you
else
overrate
other
it.
than the peat, because that'll carry through even if you water it down 75%, you'll still get that.
Mm-hmm.
And like the last expression where we had the smoke that was campfire, not iodine, this is definitely peat light. And it's a pleasant peat, not a really bad dirt
It's not
peat.
medicinal at all.
Not
I don't-
medicinal.
Oh, absolutely not.
And I don't think, but first off, let me make a caveat here. I don't think medicinal peat is a bad thing. I'm a fan of Lagavulin.
No, it's just a
and I
different.
like
If
to
it's a
look for
different
it.
style,
Yeah.
that's all.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, wow, this tastes like hospital smells. Yeah. I kind of
This
like
tastes
that.
like
Me too.
Mercurochrome and
Yeah.
Band-Aids.
I like that too,
Awesome.
Harmeet.
Right. I have no problem. I'm sorry,
I
touched your
prefer that my Mercurochrome and Band-Aid stays in the hospital.
Well,
and
you're
my
a
whiskey
sissy.
tastes like whiskey. Not
Yeah, you're a
Band-Aid.
mic.
sissy.
He is a sissy. He is a sissy. He probably wears his underwear under his kilt.
Oh yeah, definitely.
that's wrong.
Last time I looked,
Oh,
Why do you keep
no.
looking, Bob?
No.
Why do you keep looking?
I'm curious. I'm curious.
Okay, let me interject.
He did win the blue ribbon though.
I actually know what it was. Is he had the kilt on, and it was unfortunately a very windy day.
One of those days.
Okay.
He did a Marilyn Monroe for you.
The children will never be the same.
Oh my God!
There's a reason why Maury and Bob sit directly across from each other, gazing longingly
The children
into each
are
other's
scarred
eyes.
for years.
Let me interject some historical information.
So, thank you. Please
the
do.
Glenrothes brand is currently owned by the Edrington Group, which we
said,
discussed. Which also owns McAllen and Highland Park, among other brands. However, Bunnahabhain is owned by Distel, which is a very large company owning.
Does
many
anybody read this script that I spend hours putting together?
Well, if you give it to us in advance,
raising his hand like we can see that on the radio.
All right.
Thank you, Brent.
So
All right.
Distel Group owns Lechegg.
I apologize to the people that are out there listening and that are banging their heads against the table right now. They were owned by the Iowa Company, which also owned Bunnahabhain back in 1887.
Jesus Christ. He said that this whiskey was because they're owned by Bunnahabhain.
No, I made a mistake. You're correct. I said they used to own Bunnahabhain. But whose Isla casks are they using? Because this is definitely more peaty.
Exactly. See, that's what I agree with him. I'm guessing it's probably Bunnahabhain cask because
I think that
it's a very light
celebration of an old association, not because they're owned by.
It's peatier than clarifying. It's peatier than Bunnahabhain.
It's sure not Lefroy. Yeah.
No, it's not Lefroy. Maybe you think it's Kalila? Do you think it's Kalila?
Could be.
Kalila's got that sweet peat balance.
Yeah, that sweety, smoky, peaty balance.
There's no sweetness here.
There is a ton of sweetness underneath.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yes, there is.
Taste, there's tons of sweetness. How do you stay married to this boy? Denise, come on.
I can't disclose that.
Peaty whiskey. He doesn't appreciate the peaty whiskey.
He doesn't have to.
He appreciates you. That's all it takes. Yeah. So she comes in with high expectations, and she shows that she has very low expectations. See that?
That happens.
But what did Brent think? You know.
Brent?
Yes, I'm pretty sure somebody set a fire out there in the Florida Everglades, and then they dumped me on the side of the bank, and that's where I was, and they woke me up, and that's what I'm smelling, because that's what I get from this.
Burning Everglades.
I see you running from alligators in this.
Yes, exactly. This was a little bit overly peated for my expectations and wants and needs, and my palate,
burnout,
and my palate. Yeah, it's not, but that's what I got out of it.
Smoky ashtray.
No.
This is not smoky ashtray.
No.
By a mile.
No, the end of this thing just goes on and on.
The finish does continue and go on and on, but it's nice.
Do we have a review for the points rating?
We do.
Do you see why, even though you're a pain in the rear, why I have to have you here when we do these
Scotch things? Yeah,
why?
these guys are Philistines.
I know. I'm surrounded. I mean, we've got Denise, thank God, but the rest of them are just. I swear.
Drink a Scotch, kid.
Did you say anything?
A good Scotch.
What'd you say about it?
What did I say? I thought it was okay.
It was better than okay.
He's a little overly wordy for us right now.
What I can tell you is the group was 3 sips.
Interesting.
Well, that's all the time we have today. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and you catch all of our episodes where you found this one, as well as on terrestrial and satellite radio, online at iTunes, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, Spotify, SoundCloud, Spreaker, TuneIn, Stitcher, YouTube, PRX, and nearly any place that you listen to a podcast. The easiest way to find this show on your phone is to ask Alexa, Siri, or Google, play podcast Sips, Suds, and Smokes. We love your feedback. You can reach us online at info@sipsudsandsmokes.com. Our daily tasting notes float on Twitter every day at SipSudsSmoke, and our Facebook page is always buzzing with lots of news. You'll also be able to interact with the thousands of other fans on that social media platform. Do us a favor and take the time to rate this episode. If you're listening to us online, it's a big help to us, and we get to see your feedback as well.
And tell me how wrong you think Maury is. Because, I think Maury's usually wrong.
He's a heathen, but that's, neither here nor there.
This is a good smoke.
Thank you for joining us, Denise.
Thank you. It was a pleasure and dizzying all at the same time.
Less whiskey, Denise. Less whiskey.
Thank you, Brent.
Thank God I got out of those fires. That's all.
Thank you, Maury.
Thank you, Bob. I love the haggis and neeps.
It's the only 2 Scottish words he knows. Thank you, Justin.
Thank you, Bob. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Harmeet.
'Twas a pleasure, Bob. I just want to know which one of you two is driving, because Maury, Denise, I think Uber is need to call you an Uber.
Time to turn his mic off.
Yeah.
All right. I swear. Well, for Sips, Suds, and Smokes, this is Made Man Bob, and we thank you for joining us. And remember, life is too short to drink bad whiskey.
This has been a One Tan Hand production of Sips, Suds, and Smokes, a program devoted to the appreciation of some of the finer slices of life. From the Dude in the Basement Studios, your hosts, the Good Old Boys, will see y'all next time.